how to find an awesome monitor for your particular purpose. Excellent for tuning in, guys. Today we're going to look at the LG 32UL750-W, a 32-inch 4K display that actually I found quite interesting because it tries to do two things at the same time, in my opinion. Here over in the side card, you see some features that this LG monitor has, and we see that it is advertised as color calibrated from the factory. It has the DCI P3 color space, which is always nice. It's a little bit extended color space. It has the HDR 600, also for gamers relevant, the AMD FreeSync. This LG display has a bunch of inputs at the back. They give you a flexibility of what devices to connect. You see it has two HDMI, it has the display port, which is very nice, and especially it has the USB-C, which could be interesting if you want to connect your laptop/notebook to this LG monitor. So let's check this out. I'm really interested. Let's get started. Terrific. Let's quickly have a look into the box, assemble the unit, and also check which cables are included and if we maybe need an additional one. And that looks better than I was expecting. I looked on the LG website and I thought I had only seen two cables, but three are included. Then we're gonna move on to the USB-C. I thought that they might not include the USB-C. Luckily they do, so we're gonna test that with a MacBook Pro. Terrific, guys, this is a quite big monitor. I'm carefully removing some packaging material because let's have a quick look on how to assemble this display. So I would recommend you take it out of the box, put it on your desk, and then obviously you have to remove the packaging material, put it very carefully on this styrofoam to keep your display safe. Take the monitor stand and you see there are these latches and you just clip that first into place. And once that's done, obviously the bottom part you screw it in by hand. And finally, to make sure, because the monitor also has some weight, give it a tighten it a little bit. Excellent. And now I've tested this LG UHD 4K monitor for a while. And first thing, obviously always consider the display sizes. Here in the side card you can see 24, 27 and 32 inch. Those are popular or the common sizes, and we have a 32 inch display, which is usually one of the bigger ones. Now also the aspect ratios, as you can see below, this is actually 16:9, which is one of the common aspect ratios. The common aspect ratios, you have also 21:9 and 32:9. I reviewed also recently in LG Ultra Wide, as you can see here. Those are also becoming more popular. However, you're diverging from the normal 16:9 aspect ratio, which this is very nice for. There is also another trick that I noticed with the LG displays. What you can do to get more out of these displays, I would recommend you to check out under general the energy saver function, because usually these LG displays, if you have the smart energy saving on, they're using this luminance compensation algorithm, and I found that on some of the LGs that I tested, that maybe if you're watching a movie you don't notice it that much, or if you play a game, but when I did video editing I sometimes saw slight fluctuations in the brightness, so you might want to disable that energy saving feature to get even better picture out of the monitor. Next up, the panel types. So this is kind of a big deal for me. As you can see here, those are the common panel types: twisted pneumatics, variable alignment and IPS. We have the vertical alignment, and I'm tending normally more towards the IPS, simply because they have a better viewing angle stability. If we put the side card away and just look at the picture, if I look at the picture straight out of the camera, the way the camera is pointing right now, I'm getting a really nice crisp image. It's a good display. However, since I'm a little bit taller, if I'm sitting at my desk, usually I'm looking from that angle. I'm looking from a slightly elevated angle down at the display. And I already noticed that the colors are not as strong at the bottom just by changing the viewing angle. And as soon as I go down a little bit with my head and look straight, which that's not my usual walking position, then the colors pop again. So I would say personally, in my opinion, I would not use a display like this specific one, because I feel the viewing angle stability is not strong enough. I'm losing some of the color crispness if I'm looking from my usual work position. So the panel types, I would personally more gravitate towards IPS panels. That's a consideration. And also inputs. This monitor has plenty of inputs. As you can see here, I have an Apple TV for testing. Right now you're seeing my Mac Pro, my 2009 Mac Pro connected via DisplayPort. And in a second, we're also going to connect the MacBook Pro via USB-C. And that's a good test. So let's switch over real quick. And obviously it asks you whether you want to connect to the USB-C. I'm going to select yes. And it switched right over. For some reason, this background is a little bit brighter. So that should be a little bit overexposed when filming this with the camera. Let me quickly turn this down. As you can see, the display is also pretty bright. I'm going to go down to 20. That should be more like it. And yeah, I mean, I like this display. The USB function works pretty smoothly, so nothing to complain here. And you can see it also charges the MacBook Pro simultaneously. So I have two computers, my stationary Mac Pro and the MacBook Pro. And we can also use the Apple TV just by selecting the HDMI input. And if you have like a streaming box, whatever streaming box, of course, it should be a 4K streaming box. Right now, my Apple TV is a little bit older, so it's only full HD. But yeah, guys, this still works. And then you can enjoy your favorite shows on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever your preferred method is. So I like this display, except it's a VA panel, except the viewing angle is not as good as other LG monitors that I compared with the IPS panels. So let's jump to the conclusion. Excellent. And what's my personal conclusion about this LG 4K display with 32-inch? So far, I can say what I liked about this display is the various inputs that it has. We tested this both with the Apple TV, then I tested it with my stationary computer via DisplayPort. This worked fine. And finally also with the MacBook Pro in this case via USB-C. Awesome, guys, for tuning in. Let me know what other content you want to see, monitors. And I'll see you as a subscriber at the next video. And because you just watched my review, you can also be interested in comparing it, for example, against this curved LG monitor, which I tested for video editing and what proved to be especially useful for gaming. You see how much more space it provides to you, this massive 21 by 9 inch curved monitor versus the classical 16 by 9 24 inch in full HD. So guys, this was a mouthful. I see you as a subscriber, and in the next video, all the best to you. Take care.